Jenny and Debbie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Now, there isn't any doubt about what we're going to speak about because you two look so fantastic in your bright purple t-shirts. It's about the recovery walk that's going to happen in Cape Town. It's the first one to be held in Cape Town, but really International Recovery Month is in its 26th year, and that's September. So before we get to the walk, won't you tell us a little bit about what is International Recovery Month?
Well, so I did a little bit of research into, because I only found out about International Recovery Month this year, and it's mainly it started in America, 1989, and the first recovery walks were to honor people working within the field of addiction, of recovery from addiction, and it was only later that addicts in recovery from addiction were included in this whole celebration of recovery from addiction. So it seems to be like a visibility and a celebration, and the visibility to show that we do recover.
Yes.
You know, that treatment works, prevention works, we do recover, and that living in recovery from addiction is a lived reality in millions of people's lives around the world. So it's to show that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so rather than the focus being so entirely on addiction and the problem, it's people saying, hey, we're in recovery and we've got something here that is precious and valuable, and we want to share it with the world. We want the world to know about it. And also it's creating spaces for people in recovery to come together in a way where they don't have to worry that their recovery is in some way going to be jeopardized by a culture of addiction that is actually rampant. If you just think about when we go out to socialize, we are confronted with alcohol, firstly, in such a massive way, or drugs as well. There's a lot of a culture of using that's just become very accepted in our world. And for people in recovery, that's difficult. So recovery activities that are beginning to happen more and more throughout the world, and now increasingly in Cape Town, although we really are at the real infancy of it, is places for people in recovery to come and be together and know that they can just be relaxed. They don't have to worry that they're going to get offered a drink or, and the two times that the Recovery Walk Committee has done this walk has just been so much fun to be together and to be in the middle of Cape Town together, and just enjoying ourselves. So just creating recovery spaces, which actually I think it's insane really if we think about how much of a problem drugs and alcohol are in the world, and yet, you know, we have to like really create spaces of recovery for people to come together and socialize. It feels upside down. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it feels a bit topsy-turvy. So the recovery walk is, hey, come and be in recovery together. And
it's also important to emphasize that the recovery walks, everybody is welcome, because addiction, quite honestly, addiction touches a lot of our lives in many forms, in many ways. So, you know, if you're a family of an addict, or you are married to somebody struggling with addiction, or who's in recovery from addiction, it's also a time to walk together.
yeah,
You know, and we're also, I mean, the recovery walks are, or the whole point of Recovery Month is also to raise awareness, and it's to challenge the stigma.
yeah.
Because stigma towards addicts and addiction in all its forms is very detrimental, and it's often, the stigma is there because of ignorance, a lack of understanding, fear, the criminalization
of addiction.
Yeah.
So that the understanding that addiction is a disease, and so it's not about criminalizing it. So Recovery Walk Cape Town is not about saying, you know, drugs are the problem, or the dealers are the problem, or
addict is shaming
or
the addict, or
you know, the addict is a weak person. It's saying, hey, we have to face up to the fact that addiction is a disease that is affecting so many, many people throughout the world, but let's just in Cape Town.
And one of the ethoses of the Recovery Walk Cape Town team, our manifesto, is envisioning a Cape Town or South Africa where treatment is available for everyone.
Yes.
You know, that good treatment is available, and that instead of an addict finding themselves in a terrible situation and getting thrown in jail and staying there for however long, that person can actually be taken to treatment.
Right.
You know, where it becomes a public health concern.
Yes.